Hi guys, it's me, just listening again. And for this video that I will be dedicated to Asian History Month in 2025, I will open up with a question first. Have you guys ever read a book where when you bought it, you originally thought that it'd be something a little bit different than what you already got, than what you got? Something that you thought would be kind of historical, a little bit funny, with a little joke here and there, but it turned out to be something that personally offended you in more ways than one. Well, I read one book which was so offensive to me that, besides the one I'm going to talk about right now, where I actually threw away when I got like a third through it. And that was a book on hell, the actual fiery place of hell. And basically, it was so offensive to me because it said that no matter how nice a person you are, no matter how good the deeds that you do out in life are, no matter how altruistic you are in helping other people and stuff, you will still be privy to the weenie roast in hell. So I took that to offense, being that I'm pretty nice person. Yeah. I'm a pretty nice person. I do the right thing. I stay hard. I do all this stuff to help out my fellow human beings and all that. And I try to, be nice to younger children. I'm a teacher for crying out loud, and I try to do the best I can with what I got. So the notion of that being wasted and going to hell anyway, being tortured and being all this other stuff, became really offensive to me. So I threw it out. This book that I'm going to talk about right now called Sex and Japanese by the subtitle is The Sensual Side of Japan, with two people making out on here. Presumably gonna have some sex time afterwards. It's written by Boye Lafayette. More like Mente. You'll see what I'm talking about soon enough. But one thing I noticed is that the other books on Asia that I've read so far and reviewed for this channel, like these two books, they're published by the same people, by Tell Publications. That'd be TUTTLE Publications. And you see how in both these books, as well as the other one I'm reading right now, and others too, you see that the publication logo is written proudly on the covers, on the side, and the back too of these books, because these are publications that they must be proud of putting out. And yeah, I will be reviewing those shortly. But for this one, they have you can't even find the publication logo on the cover, nor can you find it on the spine. You can just find the name of the author plus the name of the book without the subtitle. And then in the back, you can just barely make it out in the fine print. So they knew that this book was controversial and kind of offensive. It's really offensive, I'm not even Japanese, but I love the culture so much that I have to say that this is an awful book. Now let me tell you that even though the name Club Publishing is featured in like very fine print on the bottom of the thing, right underneath where it says cultural studies, I'll bet they have proudly in bold typefacing, like twice as big as the actual publication company name and logo they have. In Japan, sensual pleasures have never been a sin. I'll bet. So, when I saw this on Amazon, I thought that the title was, interesting. I thought it'd be something like, the historical views of sex during, in Japan. Possibly with, like, a reference to the rape of the king, which is a very serious thing, as well as other, stories about the kind of stuff, the war and things like that. But, yeah, I intrigued that part in the back of the book, the one that the quote I just read you, and yeah, this book is very insensitive. It's taken from a more of a drunken sailor's perspective about Japan, and especially the women there. And it's just an awful thing. In fact, I'd rather get an account of this type of stuff. I'd rather get an account from this type of stuff from this guy, a pervert in Family Guy, an over-the-top animated nutball about sex and certain things. But I'll let you be the judge of that, from what I say. Anyway, this book is very blatantly stupid. It comes off as more like as like a drunk college student that says that, oh boy, I just got laid by like 5 women at once in Japan. You should go get lucky too, Forget about anything about morality. Forget about anything to do with condoms. Forget about anything about sex. Go there and make as much love as you possibly can. Gain the consequences, If you fall in love with somebody, that's good, but the primary objective is to whip it out and have fun. That's it. There's no morality, no concept of sin there, and no thought about consequences like STDs, pregnancies, etc. And there's no concept that the women involved would be shamed or disowned by their family, because nobody cares about that. We're just gonna care about having fun and having fun in sexual position in love hotels and that kind of thing. Which, okay, to this book's very little credit, I do think that that's a good statement, and I agree with chapter here about the sex hotels and stuff, because from what I hear that stuff is kind of predominant in the hotel business. They just like hotels are temporary for like something like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, so that you can do the nasty and then move on with your life with whoever. But, yeah, that's kind of, just even that's kind of weird, too. But I guess let's go with some of the eccentricities of life in Japan. So anyway, this is just to get you guys into the mood for how insensitive and how drunk college guy this book is. Right now I'm going to read you guys the table of contents, and then I'll read you a quote from the actual first paragraph or the first line of the book, first full sentence of the book, more or less. And I'll explain some of these later on. Chapter 1, Sex Without Sin. Okay. Chapter 2, Heritage of the Fertility Cult. Chapter 3, the Tao Sex Syndrome. By the way, if I mispronounce this word, I'm sorry. Chapter 4, Happy Days of Hedonism. Chapter 5, Sampling the Forbidden Fruit. Sampling forbidden fruit. Chapter 6, The Occupation Years. West meets East. Chapter 7, The quote-unquote Romance Gray Phenomenon. Chapter 8, Love Hotels and Massage Parlors. Chapter 9, Porn for the Male Masses. Chapter 10, Sex Lessons for Ladies. Chapter 11, Titillation on the Tube. Chapter 12, Masame on the Make. Chapter 13, When hubby is away, wives will. That's it. And then chapter 14, The Charms of Japanese Women. Chapter 15, The Wiles of Japanese Women. Chapter 16, Look Before You Leap. Chapter 17, Happy Hunting Grounds. And then chapter 18, Lover's Language. And then what they don't tell you is that half of this book, about half of this book, is dedicated to the vocabulary words that deal with sex and other things in both English and Japanese. So you can get a creep in both languages. Okay, now for the first quote of the day here, from the first sentence of this lovely, lovely book. There is a saying in Japan that a man needs three things to be successful with women: aggressiveness, oshi, the Japanese word, money, okane, and a good figure, suganata. If I'm pronouncing that right. So pretty much the best misogynistic I could get, anti-women. And you know what? it's that's all you need to know about this book. It's very anti women, very anti honorability. You know, I know that in their culture, honor is a big thing. Maybe overplayed in some movies, but it's more accurate to say something like in something like Last Samurai, which is kind of which is very historical and accurate, but some things are accurate. Like for example, the wet wife there is more loyal to the husband and that kind of thing. And the relationships are kind of they're not accurate. But in this thinker of a book, they don't really say any of that. They don't really say that women are loyal to their men and all this stuff. But when the chapter said that when the husband went on like a business trip or something, women are very vulnerable and very susceptible to leaving him and cheating on another man for another man and stuff. So it's very insensitive in that regard. Very inaccurate, I'm sure. I mean, I can't say that for sure. I can't say that for precisely, but I can say that from an outside perspective and say that it's very coarse and vulgar to think of. You know, a wedding ring is just an accessory. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything in your religion. It doesn't mean anything for your morality. It just doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It's just a ring, just a piece of metal. And that we can always take your ring off whenever we're doing the nasty. You know, this all has to do with the fact that apparently this author doesn't think that Japanese have morality. Because according to him, in the first chapter, the reason why they don't have proper morality is because they don't worship like we do. Like Christians and Jews and Muslims believe in the first sin. That'd be Adam and Eve and all that other jazz. And because they worship Buddha, the Shinto gods, etc., Eastern religions and philosophies, that they don't understand the concept of sin, which makes a little bit of sense actually, because we're talking to somebody about the religion. He said, what's sin? What's Eve? We have no concept of that. So, but they did take it way too far in this book. You don't need to know sin to understand morality, and that something is wrong and it's wrong. No matter what religion you practice. So also, you don't have to believe in the first sin, the thing that we are human and therefore we have sin built into our systems, our mental capacity and stuff, and that we're born evil and all that junk too. You don't have to believe that to believe that morality and stuff like that. Especially for the Japanese, Korean, Chinese, etc., because they're all about morality, honor, button-lipped organization and all that, all that other jazz too. So to say that they don't know any better, it's kind of like saying that it's like being misogynistic, being ethnocentric toward the Christians and the Jews and Muslims, the monotheistic religions, because they're saying that the author is saying that because the Japanese practice don't practice that they're really better, and we know the concept of sin better because we're more moral than they can ever be. So so if you go to Japan, have at it. You can have fun. You can throw morality out the window. You can party hardy. You can sleep with as many women as you want. It's a big free for all. And I don't like that idea. I don't like that mentality. Whether it be Japan, whether it be Korea, whether it be Italy, whether it be whatever country, you should always have restraint for that kind of thing. Regardless of who the partner is, or what religion they practice, or what they do or do not believe in. And you should always treat others with respect. This guy obviously doesn't seem to have any respect. In fact, another quote from this book, not a direct quote, but I'm just paraphrasing here, is that when you talk about prostitutes, ladies of the evening and such like that, he says that the women over there were very interested in sleeping with white men for over wartime because they were supposedly bigger and better at sex, and they're more liberal about sex, persistence, stuff like that. So they were giggling. I'm gonna get with white GI tonight. That's horrible. First of all, because more likely these women were probably forced into it because of a wartime era that's been practiced, that comfort women were taken by force from the surrounding areas and forced to make American GIs or Japanese GIs or whatever. It made them feel more at home, more comfortable. And that was I've seen enough historical footage and documentaries that just say that is very horrible. That is disgusting. And the fact that, let's say that was just a fluke. Okay, let's say that is okay. I was like just for historical documentation. That was just like your average woman being captured and made into doing that kind of stuff. But this guy seemed to think that, prostitutes, like career-long prostitutes, would find enjoyment from dealing with a bigger and more sexy men and all, foreign GI and all that. But still, that's a very horrible statement to make, because prostitutes are gonna be miserable with whatever thing that you have them do. Whether you have them do your basic service, whether you have them do more advanced stuff, they're still gonna hate doing it. They're still gonna be miserable. They're still gonna have to answer to an abusive pimp or madam or whatever the case is. So the fact that they would like it is very anti-woman and very human being wise. That's a horrible statement to make, because nobody actually likes to be forced and paid to have sex with somebody. I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell that be good in any of it. No prostitute, no comfort woman, no bride or whatever, no, arranged married person, they don't want to have to do that kind of thing for a living for X amount of time, and no one wants to do that. It's very miserable. It's very yucky. It's very yucky. It's very horrible. And to say that someone will say, "Oh, but I like it because they're foreigners," that makes it even worse to say it. I mean, what the hell was this guy thinking here? This whole book reminds me of one sentence from the classic movie '83, Scarface, in which Tony Montana said to one of his friends, whether he was drunk or not, I have no idea. He was saying that this city, Miami, it's like one big pussy just waiting to be fucked. And you can apply for this book too. That if any foreigner goes to Japan, women are just gonna be over there just waiting to throw out the pussies to them. We just throw out their pity to them. They'll form lines just to give them kisses and snoo and bras and underwear too, and maybe other article clothing too. Whatever the man wants, the woman will be more than happy to give him, and they'll like it too, regardless of how degrading or as immoral or as debasing as whatever action it might be. So in other words, this book is complete garbage. You know, I thought it'd be something like a historical documentary type book, you know, like the history of sex in Japan, or like some a little more comical than that. But this book will only appeal to say someone like this guy, like Quagmire. No wonder why tall publications, the brick logo on the front cover of this was a spine. Because this book isn't a cultural book, it's more like a, hey, here, they got lots of women in Japan that will do anything for you. Just get drunk, and they'll do anything you want for almost nothing. Because they're stupid, ignorant savages over there. Just want to have sex. Raw, rotten sex. Because they have no morality whatsoever. Because they're not Christian, Jewish, or Muslim. So yeah, I really don't like this book. And I don't recommend it to you guys. I know that I've seen lots of movies in person, even songs that are made by Asian people and stuff, talk about, like, say, politics, history, and all that. But this book is just garbage. Garbage on a stick. It's beyond garbage. It's insensitive. It paints the wrong idea about Japan. I mean, not even in the most debate, in the most, the dirtiest, most wretched hole you're ever gonna find in Japan will this stuff ever come out? Will this stuff ever apply to anybody? You have to go very, very deep into the subworld of Japan to actually find someone that fits what this person describes as being rich, like in Japan. Also, they make mention of the hentai in this. And hentai is a very big, huge topic. but they don't want to go too much in depth with it. They don't go into anything to do with hentai. They don't describe anything to do with it. They don't describe anything to do with I forgot what the Japanese word is for man on man hentai or anything like that. I know there's a word that ichi, which means movies and TV shows that almost go into new territory, but don't go there. They pull back. They do obscure shots in it, boob shots, but they don't actually show anything with the boob and all that. So it comes dangerously close to being nudity. But they don't cover that in this one. Kind of a disappointment, You think that with a book title called Sex and the Japanese, the thing would kind of be interesting to cover in it more in-depth subject, but no. Also, it'd be kind of interesting to show why how things like for example, Sailor Moon or say One Piece characters are highly sexed up. How that's freely available material for young children. How that could see that without question. All that. I would like to see more of that in this book, but this book is not made seriously. It's not meant to be like a breakdown of all serious topics about sex. This is basically just a fat boy's pornographic version of what is idealized in Japan, what he thinks of it, in a drunken manner. So yeah, I normally cover good books and funny books about history and politics and stuff, or economics or whatever in the country that in Asia and stuff, Southeast Asia, all that. But I thought that this book would be funny, but it shouldn't be garbage and racist, misogynistic trash. Anyway, I thank you for watching my commentary on sex and Japanese, the sensual side of Japan. As you can tell, I don't like it because it's frat boy interpretation. It's go over there. There are plenty of women that will do anything for you. I mean anything for you. And they'll like it too, because there are a bunch of heathens over there that don't believe in Christ or Jewish or Muslim traditions. And that's okay to do whatever you want. You can run roughshod on them and not feel guilty about it. Because people who are monotheistic, who have monotheistic faiths, they can do whatever they want to. The Buddhists, Shinto people and all that. And not feel guilty about it. So anyway, I did this for Asian History Month of the year 2025. And as you can probably imagine, there's a few books that I've read on the subject of Japan or any Asian country that deserves my poop seal of crap. Because most other books and movies I review have some kind of redeeming quality in them. Like with Dragon Ball Evolution. That's a real crappy movie, but there are some good things about it. This book has nothing of value to it. And I'm sorry, but even though Quagmire is a pervert, he still likes Korean culture, which is where his wife comes from, South Korea. And yeah, lots to say more about the book, but I'll get an aneurysm from my hatred of it. But yeah, if you guys like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for any future information or future input on my video channel. But call me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at pmelsonpro. Or my email is jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So I salute all of you people out there who like Japanese culture and stuff, and who are ashamed of books like this that just promote it as like a sex destination. Speaking of which, in the book there, somewhere in the book there, they mention about Japanese green pass. The Japanese green pass, where you can where, like, say, if I apply for it, I can go over there and just fuck women that are of age, of course. So give me like a government pass or something, increase the babies over there, increase the amount of Japanese plus guardian babies over there, which is a very horrible practice, which I had to ask my friend, if that really exists over there in Japan. He doesn't think it does. And I like to think that it's a very stupid idea to think that they would have that. I would mean to get more official promotion of something like that. You know what I mean? It does seem like a real fantasy and a real dog twisted fantasy of a country I love, Japan. And they don't even mention anything about how the disabled people are treated over there, to treat like average citizens, of them more treated like lepers and whatnot. So yeah, a horrible book, a horrible experience, very twisted view of Japan, and just a horrible experience altogether. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls and guys in the land. So, sayonara, Avina-san, and ciao ciao, and aloha.